you as a customer. So to continue on the partners that we are working on, I would really like to introduce one of our very, very good friends, Massimiliano Caranzano, if I speak it out right, in the Italian way. But we always call him Max. So Max, if you want, you can take it away.
Thank you, Eric. And your mix of Italian, Dutch, and Austrian German was really perfect.
Thank you.
You're truly European. Good afternoon, everybody. So it's again a pleasure for me to be here with one of our best partners to share with you what we are doing together with Google, together with Bucher+Suter, to improve the efficiency and the value that our contact center solutions are delivering to your customers. So today I'm going to talk about some news. So on top of what we have already covered in the previous session of this successful CDX Day event. And I'm going to talk about a new, let me say, architecture, which is called Webex CCAI. And its first implementation, its first use case, which is based on this architecture, which we call Cisco Agent Answers. And of course, the advantage is that we hope both these two things can deliver to your customers. So the kind of challenges we are targeting with this architecture and these solutions are mainly consistent with the help we can deliver, the assistance we can deliver to in-person agents busy in a call with a client. So we constantly hear that the customer satisfaction, the customer experience is now one of the most important financial metrics from all of you, and therefore improving the customer satisfaction, which also means improving the retention of the customers, is one of the things we aim to improve through Agent Answers. There is also another point I constantly hear from all of you, and it's concerning with the problem due to the high churn rate of agents. So agents normally are expensive to train, and they tend not to be maybe super loyal. So there is an high churn rate, and this is of course creating a problem in terms of cost, as well as a problem in terms of customer experience, because definitely the service they can deliver is not as great as the one delivered by a senior agent. And this very often turns also into, for example, a poor first contact resolution. So the first time the customer is calling a contact center, ideally they should get the answer. They should get the problem they are calling for solved. And sometimes because of the complexity of the service, the complexity maybe of the product and services the contact center is supporting, but also because of the fact that maybe the agent is junior, is not fully trained yet, this is not happening. And this requires the customer to call back if they call back, because sometimes they decide to switch to competition. So those are the important financial challenges here of improvements we target with this solution. And of course, the final idea is to improve customer experience as well as to lower the cost of the operation in a contact center, lower, for example, the average length of the call, avoid the customer has to call back. So what is Agent Answers? Agent Answers is just another way to apply to a Cisco Contact Center the true power of modern artificial intelligence solutions. So in this case, artificial intelligence is not meant to replace the agent, but is meant to assist the agent. So imagine you have an ongoing audio call between a client and the agent when they are talking about the customer ask, the customer request. In this case, artificial intelligence will be listening to the discussion, to the dialogue between the client and the agent, understanding what they are talking about through the powerful natural language understanding AI solutions delivered by Google, and proactively looking into a knowledge base to identify some potential answers to the questions raised by the client, documentations, frequently asked questions, whatever could be useful to answer as quickly as possible and in the best way possible the customer questions. And those answers found in the knowledge base will be rendered, will be made available to the agent as a suggestion on the agent desktop. So the agent will receive dynamically possible answers to the question that the client is raising right now in the call. And this, of course, is dynamic, so keeps updating as soon as the customer is changing the topic of the discussion. AI will detect the new intent and will push the new information on the Cisco agent desktop. It's up to the agent, of course, to decide which of the answers they want to pick to deliver to the customer. So the agent still has the control of the dialogue. It's not up to artificial intelligence. So this is a very high level schematic of the call flow and the way it works. So when you have, as I said, you have a client which is in a call with the agent, a client which is already in a call with the agent. So fundamentally, we at the Cisco Contact Center, we are able to stream the audio of this conversation to Google, to the Google Agent Assist service, but we stream that through a new architecture, which is what we call Webex CCAI. So fundamentally, we stream the audio to a cloud service, and the magic will happen in a Google Agent Assist. And what Google is returning to the Cisco Contact Center is the list of suggestions that we finally render on the agent display, so that on the agent screen, Finesse, for example, or could be also a third-party CRM agent desktop. So this is maybe a better look. I'm zooming out the agent desktop, and as you can see, in this case, the customer is in call with the agent, and let's say in this case they are talking about, for example, batteries in an electric car, in a Tesla car, and Agent Answer is able to show the agent all the potential documentations containing some answers to deliver to the customer. Of course, they are ranked in a proper way, so the highest match is showing first. But again, it's up to the agent to pick the one they believe fits better in the current context of the dialogue with the customer. The agent will be also able then to provide a feedback to the system and to the solution with a thumb up or a thumb down that could be further used to improve the accuracy of the AI model, suggesting the answers to the agent. And all this stuff is happening dynamically without the agent having to do anything. So the agent stays concentrated on the dialogue. They don't have to Google anything. They don't have to switch to external tool to query any database, to look through an FAQ, because all this stuff is done through the assistance of the artificial intelligence solution. Of course, it applies to many verticals. I would say this is one of the AI solution packages which most likely will apply to any contact center, because there is always an opportunity to help the agents to be more efficient and better in delivering the service. A side effect of this service will be the full availability of the transcription of the dialogue between the client and the agent. This is a side effect simply because that's the first step we have to perform in order to deliver the agent answer services. Everything they are talking about will be transcribed, and this transcription will be made available as an extra gadget to the agent, as well as stored in cloud for potentially archiving that or using that to post-process the call, etc. Now, it's very much important to talk about the new architecture, which I call Webex CCAI, that we have pulled together in order to deliver this service. Also because this will be moving forward the architecture through which we will deliver new advanced artificial intelligence services. So, well, the first layer is always the data platform. And you know that we at Cisco, we have contact centers on premises, we have contact centers in the cloud. So we have different solutions depending on the customer needs. Here is also important to understand that there is an ongoing migration from on-premises to cloud, and this architecture is also about dealing with this migration. So with this architecture, we do believe that any possible migration from on-premise to cloud in the future, in terms of the artificial intelligence integration, will be easier, will be smoother because of what I'm about to say. So what we have done is the following. We have introduced an orchestration layer in cloud, which is a Cisco service. So it's delivered by Cisco as a service, which we call the orchestration layer service, or Webex CCAI. So this, the objective of this layer is to decouple the Google Cloud artificial intelligence services from the platform, because by doing that, we can allow easy migration, from example, from on-premise to cloud, but we can also deal in a much better way with the constant improvement Google is introducing in their AI services, without the burden to constantly update, for example, the software on the on-premises platform. So you understand why we have decided to put this middle layer, which we call orchestration layer. In this orchestration layer, you will have, like any cloud solution, you will have the basic configuration for the services you want, the credentials to access, for example, your Google Cloud account, etc. So, and the tenant management, because of course it's a multi-tenant management solution, and everything is coming to fruition through the Webex Control Hub, which is becoming the unique point of control of Cisco Cloud services. So fundamentally, the way it works, regardless your platform, when you need a service like Agent Answers, an artificial intelligence service like Agent Answers, the platform will request to the Cisco Cloud service through a configuration ID a specific service, will stream the audio to the Cisco service, and the audio could be coming from the caller, the agent, the IVR, so depending on the service. In the case of Agent Answers, it's both the caller and the agent audio. And here, fundamentally, based on the config ID, which is the request of the AI services you want, among a list of services, which is constantly growing, this orchestration layer will reach out and connect your call through the proper protocol, so without having to take care about the protocol compatibility on the platform side, in this case to Google, for example, for Agent Answers, or to some Cisco services in the case of, for example, of speech-to-text, which is a Cisco service that we offer today. So this is the way it's going to work. The result of the Agent Answer service delivered by Google will be made available to the platform through another API, which we call the serving API, and therefore the agent will be able to see the results on a Finesse gadget or any third-party gadget, for example, CRM third-party gadgets developed by Bucher+Suter. So one final point, which is very much important, and it's another tremendous advantage of this approach, is the availability of APIs. APIs everywhere. This is really the idea, because we want to make this artificial intelligence journey, which is in constant evolution, with news, with upgrades, with new services. Now, for example, we are looking into cloud translation services. We are looking into sentiment analysis and many other services. Here you just have a subset of those which will be available very soon. We can, through the APIs, deliver those in a much quicker and easier way across all the platforms. So without having to reinvent, I would say, the architecture every time we need to roll a new service. And one more point, and then I hand over to Eric. all these services that you have seen will be made available to the Cisco Contact Center platforms, but in theory could be also made available to third-party applications. So those will be also available as a pure API service, for example, for integration into your custom applications, in your custom website, etc. So this is an extra value that Cisco is planning to offer through this architecture. So not just package contact center AI solutions, but also custom AI solutions that a partner like Bucher+Suter with incredible software development skills can easily deliver to you. I don't want to go through the list of these APIs available. Again, I can share that with you. We don't just have agent answers. As I said, we have text-to-speech, but sentiment analysis is on its way, and a few more others. I think it's important that we begin the journey together, because this will be a long 2, 3, 4, even 5 years journey, because this artificial intelligence, it's really in its early days. I leave you with the list of URLs where you can find nice, because I did those, so they are nice videos on demonstrations of some of the artificial intelligence capabilities, as well as starting point with some documentation. Eric, over to you.